Dear students, up to now we completed 4 units. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 5 are completed. Now we go for the Unit 4, that is frequency response analysis. In Unit 2, we completed time response analysis. Now Unit 4, frequency response analysis. In this chapter, so what is the frequency response analysis? How can you find out the frequency response of a given system? And what are the frequency domain specifications? And what are the definitions of the frequency domain specifications? And what are the different methods in frequency response analysis? We can explain in this chapter. So initially, what is the frequency response? The frequency response is the steady state response or output of a system when the input to the system is a sinusoidal input. Up to now, we are giving different inputs that are standard inputs like unit step, unit ramp, parabolic, like that. But in fourth unit, that is frequency response, the input is sinusoidal input. Why? Because the input having frequency. If you are giving the input as a sinusoidal, that means the frequency is involving in input. So that this response is called as frequency response. Consider a linear time invariant system H like this: x of t input, y of t output, and the system is H. Now consider the inputs and outputs. Input is x of t is equal to, for example, x into sine omega t. Then output y of t is equal to y into sine omega t plus 5. Here, the difference between these two signals is nothing but frequency response analysis. X of t is the input, y of t is the output. Now we will see what is the difference between this input and output. First difference, here x is there, here y is there. X and y are nothing but amplitudes. So that input signal amplitude and output signal amplitudes are different. That is the first one. Second one, here the phase is omega t and here the phase is omega t plus 5. So that when compared to the input and output, the magnitudes are different and phases are different. So the difference between the magnitudes and phases of input and output is nothing but frequency response analysis. So the magnitude and phase relationship between the sinusoidal input and the steady state output of the system is termed as the frequency response and the frequency response analysis. The frequency response of the system is normally obtained by varying the frequency of the input signal by keeping the magnitude of the input signal at a constant value. So this is the important. So when we can calculate the response of frequency response of the system. This is the procedure for calculating the frequency response of the system. The basic requirement is, so frequency of the input signal, varying the frequency of the input signal and keeping the amplitude is same or constant. So that is the condition when we are calculating the frequency response of a system. Next one, the response can be evaluated for both open loop system and closed loop system. So that the frequency response can be evaluated or calculated for open loop as well as closed loop systems. Consider the open loop transfer function g of j omega is equal to, so the frequency response in the sense it is the combination of amplitude as well as phase. So that amplitude can be written as g of j omega and angle can be written as angle of g of j omega. Here new representation, that is j omega. Up to now we are taking representations as h of s, g of s, like that. In frequency response, s can be treated as j omega. So that g of s is nothing but g of j omega. Here g of s is nothing but g of j omega. So s can be represented in terms of j omega in the frequency response analysis. It is a very important point. And consider the open loop function or the open loop transfer function g of j omega into h of j omega is equal to, again this also the combination of two, amplitude as well as phase. Amplitude can be written as mod g of j omega into h of j omega Angle can be written as angle of g of j omega into h of j omega. Here this means g of s into h of s. In previous representation, in frequency response analysis, s can be represented as j omega, so that g of j omega into h of j omega. In the similar way, consider the closed loop transfer function c of j omega by r of j omega is equal to, that means output by input is equal to, for example, m of j omega. So this can be represented as two parameters, amplitude as well as phase. Mod m of j omega, angle of m of j omega. So this is the representation. So that if you want to calculate the frequency response of a system, we can calculate magnitude as well as phase. Both are considered. Then only the frequency response of the systems are completed. So now the frequency domain specifications. Already time response analysis we are calculated the time domain specifications like rise time of settling time, peak time, maximum overshoot, like that. Here the frequency domain specifications also there. So in frequency domain specifications, derivations are not there, only the definitions are sufficient. So what is the meaning of frequency domain specifications? Why you are calculating the frequency domain specifications? The performance and characteristics of a system in frequency domain are measured in terms of the frequency domain specifications. So that if you want to calculate the performance and the characteristics of the system in frequency domain are measured in terms of the frequency domain specifications. The frequency domain specifications are, first one is resonant peak MR, second one resonant frequency omega R, third one bandwidth omega D, fourth one cutoff rate, fifth one gain margin, sixth one phase margin. These are the frequency domain specifications. Among these frequency domain specifications, last two are very important. These two are very expected questions in 2 marks. So gain margin and phase margin. These definitions also there in 2 marks questions in our question bank. So that these two definitions are very important. Gain margin, phase margin. So now we can start resonant peak, resonant peak MR. The maximum value of the magnitude of closed loop transfer function is called as resonant peak. So this is the meaning of resonant peak M. The maximum value of the magnitude of closed loop transfer function is called as resonant peak. Second one, resonant frequency. The frequency at which the resonant peak occurs is called as frequency response. Where the resonant peak is occurred, the corresponding frequency is called as resonant frequency. Third one, bandwidth. The band, which is the range of the frequencies for which the system gain is more than -3 dB. This bandwidth also, we know the simple definition, the difference between the higher cutoff frequency to the lower cutoff frequency is nothing but bandwidth omega d. Next one, cutoff rate. The slope of the log magnitude curve near the cutoff frequency is called the cutoff rate. It indicates that the ability of the system to distinguish the signals from noise, or to differ the signal from noise. So this is the meaning of cutoff rate. So cutoff rate is calculation of cutoff rate is important in frequency domain specifications. Next one, gain margin. It is defined as the reciprocal of the magnitude of open loop transfer function at phase crossover frequency. Here one more definition is included in this one, that is phase crossover frequency. Gain margin, phase crossover frequency. So there is a relation between these two. Gain margin Kc is equal to, say, the definition says that reciprocal of the magnitude of open loop transfer function. The open loop transfer function is g of j omega. The magnitude of open loop transfer function is mod g of j omega. Reciprocal means 1 by mod g of j omega. and the frequency at phase crossover frequency. So that omega can be represented as omega Pc. Pc means phase crossover frequency. So this is the formula for calculating the gain margin. Kg is equal to 1 by mod g of j omega Pc. The gain margin in dB can be expressed as kg in dB is equal to 20 log kg, that is equal to 20 log 1 by mod g of j omega Pc is equal to minus 20 log mod g of j omega Pc, where g of j omega Pc is nothing but magnitude of g of j omega at omega is equal to omega Pc. Now the definition for omega Pc. Omega Pc means phase crossover frequency. The frequency at which the phase of a open loop transfer function is 180 degrees is called as phase crossover frequency. Later I will clearly explain this phase gain margin, phase crossover frequency and phase margin gain crossover frequency with examples. So the frequency at which the phase of open loop transfer function is 180 degrees is nothing but phase crossover frequency. It can be represented as omega Pc. Next one, phase margin. The phase margin is obtained by adding 180 degrees to the phase angle phi of a open loop transfer function at the gain crossover frequency. So that phase margin gamma is equal to 180 degrees added to the phase angle at omega gc. So here gain crossover frequency. Gc means gain crossover frequency. Therefore, the phase angle at gain crossover frequency add 180 degrees is called as phase margin gamma, where omega, where pi gc is nothing but phase angle of g of j omega gc, where g of j omega gc is the phase angle of g of j omega at omega is equal to omega gc. Here one more definition is included, that is gain crossover frequency. So in gain margin, phase crossover frequency is there. In phase margin, gain crossover frequency is there, omega gc. So here a little bit confusion. So gain crossover frequency, phase gain crossover frequency, phase crossover frequency, gain margin and phase margin. So clearly observed, it is the frequency at which the magnitude of the open loop transfer function is unity, or it is the frequency at which the dB magnitude is 0 is called as gain crossover frequency. So we can clearly observe four definitions: gain margin related to phase crossover frequency. Next one, phase margin related to gain crossover frequency. So we can observe this point. We can easily remember the definitions of these four. These four definitions are very important expected questions in 2 marks in external examination.